Sheldon will have a forward 1.5 somersault tuck free. This will be what we refer to as round 1. Even though it is her 6th dive, that will count in her total score. A degree of difficulty of 2.2. And in a moment, we'll have a chance to flash up the judges' award of 42.9. A reminder, the top and the lowest scores from the judges are dropped. Kelly Frazier will be the next competitor to step up onto the board with an inward 1.5 somersault tuck. Degree of difficulty of 2.2, 47.30. But truly the most accurate look on the standings will be once everybody has completed this first round. 42.55. But Murdoch finds herself at the moment in first place. Renee Jordan not wasting any time with the forward 2 somersault pike, and will move into 4th as we are midway through. Here is Kaitlyn Linsmaver. Linsmaver, the junior from Amherst, with her forward 2 somersault pike, and with a 46 even, that puts Linsmaver into first place with that 2:19.10 overall. Trinity University out of San Antonio. She saw her teammate Katie Sheldon dive just a few individuals ago, and now the senior enters the water with her forward 2 somersault pike. And it is another 46 as Kaitlyn Linsmaver in second with the 2:19.10. Brings up to our 6th diver, make it our 7th diver in this rotation, Maria Zarka. Zarka with the 48.30 on her back, 1.5 somersault pike. Now moves herself into first with only 1 diver remaining in this rotation of 8. Danica Roskos, the senior from the College of New Jersey. And she will catapult right back into first place with that 48.75. So proudly representing the College of New Jersey. The first round is complete. Now 6 dives have been scored for these individuals. And it is Danica Roskos out on top as Katie Sheldon with the forward 2 somersault pike picks up an additional 41.4. Sheldon, one of the 2 divers for Trinity. The only school to get 2 divers into the top 8. As here's Kelly Frazier, just a freshman for Denison in the Big Red. So Frazier, the native of Troy, Michigan, with that dive will take first place for now. And here is Mckenzie Murdoch, the junior for the Eafs of Williams College, with her back 1.5 somersault pike. Again, as you look at that graphic, it is round 2. Murdoch is 3rd in the rotation of 8 divers. And you see she has advanced herself to 2nd place, completing that dive. Wasting no time, Renee Jordan, our 4th diver in the rotation, the junior from McAllister. After her forward 2.5 somersault tuck, she picks up an additional 46.80 as round 2 continues here in the championship finals. Kaitlyn Linsmaver will look to take over first place. An inward 1.5 somersault pike for the Amherst product. And the Lord Jeff will receive 48 points even. Good enough to give her almost a full 4-point advantage. 3.9 the differential between first and second right now. Here's Ruth Hann out of Trinity. Just a 3-hour drive from San Antonio to here, north of Houston in Shenandoah, Texas. And Hann now finds herself atop the leaderboard. We are still making our way through round 2 with 2 more divers to go, including this freshman from Kenyon, Maria Zarka, who will approach with a forward 2 somersault pike. And she will emerge from the pool and look up and see she's received a 42.55 from the judges. And Zarka now in first place. And it brings us now to the close of this 2nd round of championship dives. Danica Roskos from the College of New Jersey. Forward 2.5 somersault pike receives a 46.8. And she again will find herself after 2 rounds now atop the leaderboard. So Katie Sheldon begins things with a 42 flat. Back to Frazier, the freshman from the Big Red of Denison. That was was a forward 2.5 somersault tuck. And the award, 39.6 for Frazier, enough for now to put her in first once again after her third dive here in the championship finals. Makes way for Mckenzie Murdoch from Williams. Williams, such a powerhouse, not just in swimming, but really in all sports and divisions. See, Murdoch receives that 46.2. It puts her now in first after her 3 dives. Now Renee Jordan, who never wastes any time, the junior on the approach from McAllister. After her reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, an additional 43.05. Now back to Kaitlyn Linsmaver, her third dive. It'll be a back 1.5 somersault pike. A 40.25 awarded, as they will drop a 5.5 as well as the 6.5. Room now on the 1 meter dive for Ruth Hann, the senior for Trinity. First 1.5 somersault pike complete, and a 43.20 for Hann. Again, has her in first place with 2 more divers to go. But these were the top 2 divers through 5 rounds earlier today, and they're maintaining that standard thus far, including this freshman from Kenyon. Maria Zarka there with the forward 42 flat added to her total. Zarka back atop the leaderboard, looking to fend off Danica Roskos, who's about to step back up onto the platform. And the 44.10 after 3 rounds now will keep Roskos in that top spot. Still 3 dives remaining for each competitor. Mention Roskos, who's leading now. The Lion from Pennington, New Jersey, a 3-time national champion, has won back-to-back titles in this, the 1 meter event, that holds every one of her school's program diving records. Set the NCAA 1 meter record back in 2011 with a total score of 5:15.90. But everybody else right now just trying to catch up and hoping that Roskos will slip as Frazier receives a 48.30. That'll make way for Mckenzie Murdoch. .49.20 will again temporarily put Murdoch in first and make our way through round 4. Overall, this is the 9th of 11 dives that will count towards the total. Renee Jordan on the board. Jordan with the back 1.5 somersault pike. So now for the Lord Jeffs, Kaitlyn Linsmaver, who after each dive has found herself atop the leaderboard, only to see the subsequent divers continue to live up to expectations and reassume those roles in the top 3 spots. Linsmaver with the reverse 1.5 somersault pike, degree of difficulty of 2.4, and a 51.6 will go to the total for Linsmaver. That has her in first with 3 divers remaining here in round 4. Here's Ruth Hann, the senior from Trinity, one of 2 Tigers in this competition tonight. Her inward 1.5 somersault pike, and we'll see how the judges ultimately reward it. The award is 50.4, and now Hann back atop the standings again with 2 divers still to go. Zarka with the reverse 1.5 somersault pike. Product of Kenyon College, able to pick up a 43.2. And at the moment, that has Ruth Hann in first place. Here's Roskos to wrap up round 4 with 2 more rounds of dives for each competitor still to go. The defending champ with the back 1.5 somersault pike and a 42.55 will put the defending champ back atop the board, followed by Hann and Zarka with Linsmaver in 4th. So all 8 of our competitors still with 2 dives remaining. Back to Katie Sheldon, the Tiger from Trinity. Again, that's Trinity University in San Antonio. A 41.40 for Sheldon gives her a total now of 391 even. Here's Kelly Frazier, a freshman at Denison. And boy, is she going to enjoy the next 3 years up there at that Trumbull Aquatic Center. Separate diving well, one of the nicest facilities, one of the newest facilities in all of Division III these days. And a 49.35 will certainly help Frazier. And she now with a total of 400.45. Here's Mckenzie Murdoch, the junior EAF from Williams College. An inward 1.5 somersault pike coming up. For her efforts, 44.40. And here's Renee Jordan, not quite midway through this 5th round of dives. Jordan, our 4th diver in the rotation of 8. And her inward 1.5 somersault pike complete. She's sitting on 326 points, and she will be able to add an additional 46.8. You see her new total. And for Jordan, that'll push her into 4th place. Here's Kaitlyn Linsmaver. Linsmaver with the forward 1.5 somersault. That has Linsmaver back out on top with that total of 402.95. And she gives way to the final 3 in this round. Ruth Hann. We'll see what Hahn can add to her total, currently at 366.3. After her back, 1 somersault, 1.5 tuck free. Still waiting on the final score to be entered, as everybody's attention up on the big board, and the weight is over 44.85. Ruth Hann, well, certainly the weight was worth it. She is back in 1st place with 2 more divers remaining in this, the 5th round. Here is Zarka, the freshman from Kenya. The inward 1.5 somersault pike. As you see some of our judges across the way logging their scores. 46.80 as Zarka climbs into 2nd. Ruth Hann again hanging on to 1st, but the defending champ Danica Roskos looking to complete this, the 5th round, by reclaiming that top spot. She would need about 40 points to do so. And it looks as though she has managed more than enough to advance back in that top spot with a 45.6. So 5 rounds complete, and this is the final round, the final dive for Katie Sheldon. Sheldon finds herself in 7th place entering that last dive with a 391. And her final tally at the championships will be a 430.9. As Sheldon at the moment in the top spot, but we'll likely see the next several competitors slowly bump her further down the list. But these are your top 8 divers in NCAA Division III here in 2013, and that's the final dive for Kelly Frazier, the freshman. Perhaps the future of the sport right there, as Frazier now will climb into 1st place. The final dive for Mckenzie Murdoch will be a forward 1.5 somersault, 1 tuck free. I say 1 tuck, 1 twist, pardon me. And to her 400.05. She will add 45.10, and Murdoch in 2nd place for the moment. Here's Renee Jordan, degree of difficulty a 2.7. It's going to be a back 1 somersault, 2.5 twist free. For her final dive, leave a lasting impression here on Shenandoah, Texas. Jordan will look to climb out of 8th place with that dive, and she will move all the way to 4th with a final total of 421.40. Now the final dive of 2013 for Kaitlyn Linsmaver. Again, we had the 3-meter dive back on Wednesday. This is the final women's diving event. We have the men's 3-meter dive tomorrow night. The forward 2.5 somersault pike. Linsmaver will finish up the night with a grand total of 458.85. And as has been the case upon the completion of each of her dives here tonight, she finds herself in 1st place playing the waiting game. Ruth Hann now with her final dive. A reverse 1 somersault, 1.5 twist free. And Hann will move back up to 2nd place. Linsmaver still holding on to 1st with both Zarka and the defending 2-time champ Roskos on the horizon. Zarka with a reverse 1 somersault, 1.5 twist free. And her final point total as she climbs out of the pool, 455.25. She moves into 2nd, Linsmaver in 1st, and now it's simply a question of what will the defending champ, now a senior from the College of New Jersey, do to put a nightcap on this one. Danica Roskos, her final score, a 466.65, and once again the senior will claim the national championship in the women's 1-meter dive. And a big embrace. Once again, champion for a final time. Champion on the diving boards, Danica Roskos. Roskos finished by followed by Linsmaver, Zarka in third, Hann in fourth. Your top four finishers in the women's 1-meter dive. But Danica's record set 2 years ago, that total record, an unbelievable 515.90. Who knows how long that record will last. Fans,